about what it feels like for you.
Yeah, it really did feel that way. I was very anxious, I think, for a couple of years there. Just when it came to sort of finding the right role that kind of took me on to that next step, I guess. I never really felt like I ever played a kiddie kind of role. So it felt like a sort of very easy transition for me, but I guess I had to do the whole, meet and greet in LA again and prove to them that I wasn't 12 anymore. And Brooklyn just came along at exactly the right time, and when John came over to visit me, as I said before, I had been thinking about moving away. It was something that I was really sort of anxious to do, and I think that you really actually encouraged me to do it because he had made that trip himself, and it was just, it was really kind of right place at the right time sort of thing, and it was very therapeutic. It was incredibly overwhelming to do this, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done, because I think it's the most vulnerable I've ever been with anything, just because it's so close to me, but once you get to the end of it, you kind of feel like you've run a marathon and you're able to look back, and I'm just very, very proud to be a part of it. So yeah, it was the perfect role, definitely. Thanks.
Okay, there was another question down here, I think. Yes.
How did Nick Hornby come to be involved in the project as a scriptwriter?
Question is about how Nick Hornby came to be involved as the screenwriter.
I optioned the novel, and Nick was the first person that I gave it to, and we had made an education with him, so he was, yeah, and he loved the book, and yeah, the rest is history.
Okay, one last question, right in the back. You rose your hand right away. The question is about the adaptation of the book to the screenplay and the changes between the two, and if they were planned or if that was something you thought about as you were shooting.
Oh no, they were scripted. I mean, Nick, and whether it's because he's a novelist himself, that he sort of had the other novelists back, as it were, he has an amazing instinct for what should be left out, but more importantly, what needed to be added. And the book finishes with Eilish on the train at the end, and leaves her in a very ambivalent place. And he felt, and you can see that it's absolutely right, that it needed one more dramatic beat to deliver her back to America. But what that did then was it put a lot of pressure on the scene with Nettles Kelly, as in the confrontation scene, which again in the book is a scene which is a lot more about shaming, and Eilish she neither denies nor confirms it. And in this instance, it becomes about her standing up and making a very important step and saying, "This is my name, what are you going to do about it?" But he was very, very faithful to the spirit of the book, and and yet was able to tease out some humour into it, and that a lot of the humour in the book lies in Colum's sort of very wry prose, his ironic take on these people.
Okay, that's all we have time for today. Congratulations.